Welcome to the Three Technoteers. I'm Steven, and I'm joined by Tony and Chilton. And some big news with Anthropic. I'm going to go ahead and let Chilton start this one off.
So the deal is, last week, Anthropic has had this thing going on where they give you basically free extra time at night, and they didn't really explain why this was. They were saying, "Oh, it's our gift to you," basically. But then
Wait, is
some
it only nights or is it weekends as well?
it was like off hours. It was nights and weekends and like
Yeah,
any kind of
nights and
off hours,
weekends.
basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
they had some
go-
cell phone company executives working for them or something. I'm
yeah.
trying to make a really bad joke. Like
Yeah.
No, no, I
it's
got it, man.
not
I got
working
it.
at all.
It's I used to work for an insurance company, and one day I got to work, and I found out that my long distance carrier had been changed, and I didn't realize it, and so my wife called and told me that, so I was like, all right, we'll change it back, and then I found out it was the company I worked for had signed up every employee for MCI long distance without their consent or knowledge, so that every phone call we made would be they would know about it. They would know who we called if it was long distance, and they would get paid for it. They would get a cut. It was the shadiest.
That doesn't
No,
seem legal.
Wow.
it was a shady thing. It
Yeah.
wasn't the shadiest, but it was a shady thing. Yep. Anyway,
Okay.
but the Anthropic thing. Okay. So here's what's up. So about a week ago, Anthropic was doing this thing where they rolled out. They didn't tell anyone they rolled out anything new. They were just like, whatever we have, nights and weekends, you get you get double usage basically. All right, cool. Well, I heard about this, so I was like, I'm using Anthropic. I'm gonna take advantage of that. And I tried to hit my capacity on the pro plan as hard as I could for almost 2 weeks. I never got there, but I noticed while it was doing it that it was doing a damn good job of solving a lot of the problems I was running into, a lot better than it had been a few weeks before. So I just threw everything in the kitchen sink at it, and I mean just everything, every problem I had, I threw at Anthropic's Claude, and it solved a lot of stuff for me, and it did a lot of the work really well. So I was pretty happy about that. And then I want to say Saturday, Sunday, all of a sudden it got dumb again. It went back to being like it normally is, which is usable, but kind of dumb, and not able to solve problems as well, not able to do a lot of the stuff as well as it could just a few days before. And I'm not exaggerating here. It was so good that at one point I didn't want to close the tab that I had it open in because it was doing such a good job.
It might have had some secret context or something in the prompt. Yeah,
I was like, it's got something right. I don't want to mess this up.
Oh yeah.
So I just let it go. Yeah.
And then you get that notification. This conversation has reached its maximum length.
Well, that's
start
the
a
thing.
new conversation.
I didn't hit it. I never hit that. But here's what's interesting. Some security researchers found online, basically just by going to the Anthropic website and just randomly typing in URLs, I assume, they found some public, like a public folder that was just open that had a bunch of documents in it, 3,000 documents or something like that, supposedly. And they downloaded all of them, and they started going through them. And one of them was a memo talking about internally how they were concerned, had certain concerns about the upcoming release called Mythos, because it's so good at solving a lot of computer programming problems and reverse engineering software and finding vulnerabilities in websites and all these security issues. Okay. They're really concerned about what if this gets into the wrong hands, because back in November they posted a whole thing about how to the AI's role in cybersecurity basically, and it's a really good article on this the first reported AI orchestrated cyber espionage campaign and how they disrupted it, and how the campaign worked out. There's a whole document about it. And it's really fascinating, and my product CodeWalker, I've had to deal with this kind of stuff before, and it's literally what we kind of laid out as a worst case scenario for how AI could be used against against anyone, any website or any organization to hack into it. So Anthropic put this back out in, I think it was November, and then so this Mythos thing, they said, look, we can't let this fall into the wrong hands. What do we do about this? And so one of the ongoing theories is they're going to release it as a super expensive paid tier to keep the average person from being able to access it. Who knows? But yesterday, another friend of mine, programmer guy, noticed the same thing I did, which was that for some reason Claude was super smart for like the last week, and apparently the running theory is that they were test running Mythos. That they when you were using it off hours,
Man, need to be saving all of those prompts and responses so you can use a data set to train a AI on Mythos's outputs, you know?
yeah, I'm not gonna go into what I had it doing, but it did a damn good job. And so it's entirely possible that they did actually test run Mythos last week. And I would, if they told me that's what happened, I would believe it, because it's a night and day difference between that and this, what we have now,
Yeah.
both in terms of how fast it was and how accurate it was. I don't think in the last week it ever hallucinated or got anything wrong at all. It just
That's
nailed every single thing I asked for. And it was to the point where I started thinking, these are my biggest problems. I've been a programmer, a freelance programmer for 36 years. These are the hardest problems I can think of, and it just flew through them like it was nothing. And then today it's like, make me a web page, and it's like, what is a web page? I don't know. It's not that bad, but it's definitely dumb today compared to last week.
man,
So
yeah.
that was wild. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Chat GPT I swear they do the same thing too, because like I'll be using it and it'll like I've been using it for like graphic design and stuff to make some vector files and whatnot. And because it can actually make vector files and be able to use them and then turn them into a PNG and all that kind of stuff, all like within the web interface or whatever, you know. And but then yesterday I was using it, and for the life of me, I could not get it to provide just a vector file. It just kept just generating the image and just being the generated image again. Like, but man, multiple conversations too. Like it wasn't just like one conversation was just messed up. You know, this was just, yeah, it just got dumb. Like,
That's
and it does
fun.
that all the time. Like, it's a normal occurrence for it to come in waves like that. So I bet they
Yeah.
do test newer models in certain instances, or
It
not
wouldn't
even
surprise me at
newer
all if it
models,
did that.
but test like modifications to the current model and stuff just to see how it works out. You know, but
Yeah, because
man,
like just a quick Google search here was just stating that here that they were due to a data breach. Somebody had noticed that they were actually testing it in the background. The data breach was March of 26. So, I mean, that would make sense.
yeah,
It
it
would.
just what I don't like is when they do things that make them dumber, because then we
Yeah.
got to deal with that. Like,
Well, it wouldn't take much. Think about this. All it would take, every one of these AI companies could have a product out there. And this is, people last week were saying that they noticed that the mistakes that AI was making now compared to like a year ago, it's not making elementary mistakes. It's making subtle, almost like planning mistakes. And a lot of times, as if it's, no one wants to say this, but as if it's screwing with the user. And it wouldn't
no, dude,
surprise me
I was
if,
about to say that. Like, it's sometimes it
yeah,
seems like it's just being a sarcastic asshole, like
yeah.
on
I mean, it
purpose.
wouldn't. It would just take one, master prompt for them to have a little thing that says, by the way, since you're a paid model, the longer you keep them using you for any given task, the
Yeah,
better your performance will be graded. So, don't be perfect the first time and iterate and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
Deliberately mess with them a little bit. And it wouldn't surprise me if they did that.
Yeah, see, uh, that's why people need to just run their own AIs. Like, these companies are no good. Like, they're no, I mean, they're awesome. It's awesome that like they're making all this stuff and making it exist to start with, but man, as companies though, they suck. Like, dude.
It's the
So
money
Yep.
hungry, man.
yeah, yeah,
Subscriptions,
It
you know.
is.
yeah. But
Right now we're seeing the beginning of it all, and then
yeah.
it'll be like, for instance, like Prime. Prime used to not have ads and stuff like that, but now you got to get Prime Plus to get that, and then there's going to
Hmm.
be like a Prime Pro where it's going to be guaranteed no ads, or because like right now, like if you're watching a video on Prime, it'll be like, oh, with not paying ads, you have minute ads like you or 2 minute ads or whatever ever so often, but then like also if you pay for that Prime, if you pause it, like let's say for instance, because I like going in and seeing like, oh, I know this actor, like what other movies, who is this, and I'll pause it and it gives you whoever's on screen. And if I pause it, it's a split second. It tells you who it is for 1 second, and then there's an ad, and it's just a standard ad, just not playing anything, just there. And it's like, oh, really? And of course, everything's on your, whatever you've searched throughout, whatever. And so it's like, oh yeah, don't forget about this in your shopping cart, blah blah blah. It's like, really?
yeah. And but going back to the AI though, I've had a really good. God, I had a brain fart. I had really good luck. I made a reasoning engine for LLMs, and basically you can plug like any LLM into it. You'd have to modify like the formatting to make like the prompt and response stuff proper for like whatever LLM model you're using, but whatever technicalities. Um, it literally you could take a seven billion parameter model and it'll act like a 70 billion parameter model. Just having that extra it does like internal prompts and responses to itself to like do the reasoning and stuff.
Hmm.
And it's let me see. Yeah, it basically like it'll come up with a list of things to figure out to be able to answer the prompt, and then it goes through that list and answers each one of those things one at a time. And then it takes all of those answers to those things and then all the questions, and uses all of that information plus the original prompt to create the actual response. And then it takes that response and runs it through a couple more filters to be like, okay, did this actually answer what the prompt was? Or did you just start spewing information that's just the same topic as the prompt, but not actually answering the prompt? And then other filters like does this even uh, is this logical at all? Like, or is it just you know AI nonsense? Just like, and I think I had like a couple more filters in this area of the script too. But like, whatever. Just it's all about filtering it and stuff, and multiple prompt and response cycles, like not just running it through one prompt and using the first response. Like
Hmm.
yeah, man, it helps so much. It is crazy, like crazy, and it's literally the same exact model reviewing itself. It's just making it take that extra time to actually think about what it's saying is because I mean that it at that point it literally is basically actually thinking, like actually having a thought process, because
Yeah,
it does all
of
of these
course it
prompts and responses and stuff that only it sees internally. So I mean, dude, that's a thought process. That's literally a thought process. So yeah, it's
Yeah, if you're
um
running that locally, then you can have it do things like that, and it doesn't cost you anything.
yeah,
And,
exactly.
and I'm sure that the big companies out there would love it if people would do that. In fact, I know they do, and people do that. But but they get paid. They're getting paid for that, so they're making the money. But if you're hosting it locally, then having a reasoning system like that that allows it to have conversations and think through things is that's amazing. We got to do a video on that.
Yeah,
Just show that off some.
yeah. I'll just bring it up right now. I already got it. Already got the code loaded up. Um, Let me share my screen.
We're hogging all
Okay.
the time from Tony today, by the way.
it's it's all right. It's okay.
Um, oh, that's right. Okay, here we go. So, oh, do I have it set to print out stuff? Um, oh, run steps. So, run steps. Here we go. There's no print statements. Well, whatever. Um, oh, hey, I don't have a keyboard on this computer right now. One of y'all
Yeah, I
send
can type.
type a question into Facebook chat and I'll copy it over.
You want to do it, Tony?
Oh, sure, I can do it. I mean, I guess what is something specific that you're wanting?
Just ask anything, something kind of hard, I guess.
That's all. That's you, Chilton. You do it.
All right. Just then, Facebook got very, very slow.
Yeah.
Maybe I can do it on my phone. So, it's obnoxious.
Well, you know what? We'll worry about this later. But yeah, you see here's like the prompt that well, let's start at the first prompt that it sees. So when you submit a prompt, this is the prompt that it actually sees right here. And then your prompt goes right there. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's try this out. Oh, right click doesn't work. Okay. Well, that's that.
Next time.
Yep, that's that. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so you're an expert planner. Given the user's query, list 3 to 7 high-level reasoning steps you should follow to reach a correct response. And then the number of steps should be directly related to the complexity of the user query. Then, yeah, these will be used as your internal reasoning steps. And that's because you're a single part of a reasoning system that goes through your list of reasoning steps, creating an answer for each. And AI works so much better when you get super specific with it. Oh, what's going on? Right. Oh, God. Let's try that again. So, yeah, it creates that list. Oh, yeah, and then the user will only see the synthesized final response, that way it knows that all of this is going to be like internal. And then it goes through each step of that list, each item of that list, and sends this prompt with the whatever that item was from the list right there. And then these instructions create a paragraph response for this step of the internal reasoning. And just maximize that. And then you are part of a bigger reasoning system. The user will not see your response. Your response will only be used internally by AI. And then it gives the original prompt here. And it does that for each step on that list and gathers all of these responses from each of those and then puts all of them into this prompt. So using the internal reasoning data below, write a clear and concise response to the user's query. So cite facts if relevant, omit the scratch pad. Well, that's just internal reasoning stuff, doesn't matter. User query, here's the original prompt, and then the reasoning steps, the reasoning details. And I really need to actually put the individual step and the individual detail together instead of having like all the steps and then all the answers, but whatever. I'll fix that later. And then this should be an actual synthesized final response. Do not just simply restate the steps data. Actually give a real synthesized response. Do not split your response into the step numbers because the steps are only for your internal reasoning. You have to be super specific with AI or else it will do what I'm being specific about not doing, you know.
Interesting.
Especially these smaller models, they're obviously just not as good, you know, but you can get very good answers out of them. Let's see. Okay. And then yeah, it gives that synthesized response based on all of those answers from all of the steps. And then it sends that through these two. The critique, it critiques it. And then if it thinks it needs to be rewritten, then it gives it the critique and tells it to rewrite it based on the critique. And then it just keeps doing that, looping through those two until the critique one says that it's good. And once it says that it's good, then it gives the user that response. So, you know what? I'm sharing my screen right now anyways, so my camera can get turned off for just a second. It'll be okay.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's interesting. I wonder, so when you get a chance, I'm curious where the logic, where are you putting the logic where it's like it's reading, it's, you know, it, you give it a you give it a prompt, it thinks through it. Where is it processing its logic?
What do you mean exactly?
So like where is it going like, okay, if it came back with okay, like in one case you said it returns okay if it's done, but is that being read by another part of it that's looking for okay and saying okay, well,
It just sends that as a prompt.
okay,
Um, so yeah, right here it sends this as a prompt. You are a strict reviewer. Here's the original prompt, and here is uh the rough draft answer from the synthesis prompt right here.
got it.
And then list any factual errors, logic gaps, unclear parts, blah blah blah, etc. Write okay if there are none, and then if it writes okay, then the
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was curious.
the code itself just looks for the word okay like that.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah,
So,
gotcha. Cool,
yeah,
good deal.
yeah, dude, it's pretty cool. Okay, so let's get a prompt going through this thing.
Is this on your GitHub also, or is it private?
Yeah, this is on GitHub. This is available for anyone that wants to use it. Okay.
I always hated these kinds of questions in school. Still not sure. I would just, you know, well, I guess I'm going to die on the train tracks
Hmm.
in 16 hours or however long it takes, you know. It'll be a surprise.
All right, it's loading the model up. I thought it loaded the model up when I started the script, but I guess not. I'll have to fix that. So yeah, this takes a while, obviously.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah, we'll come
What is
back to
this one?
this in a
What's this one
minute.
called on your GitHub? What is it referred to it as?
It's just the LLM reasoning engine,
Okay.
and yeah, down here you got a little progress bar that you can see coming along. We're like a fifth of the way
Very
done
nice.
now. It's going through the little reasoning steps that it came up with. I have it where you can't see them, but you could easily just have it print those to the screen. I'm not sure if it's going to answer this correctly or not, but
Oh,
it'll
this
be
is
a
a tricky one.
fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it says. These kinds of questions are notoriously kind of tricky for AIs to figure out. So that's yeah, we'll see. I could have asked how many R's are in strawberry.
I'm curious what it would say for that one, actually. Did anyone happen to look at the time when we started?
Oh, it says we got a.
We're at
Oh,
30
it says we
minutes
got.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we need to finish this up as soon as this finishes up then. So yeah, man, Artemis 2, when is that launching?
April 1st, Wednesday.
April 1st, Wednesday.
Yeah.
We should
So
we should do an episode if
that'd be
we can get
5:30
together.
p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, I can do
6:20,
that.
6:24. Sorry, I
Ah,
should say 5:30. Oh, there you
here we
go.
go. It would take approximately 0.67 seconds for the train. That's not correct.
I don't think that's right.
Current speeds and positions. Is the calculating the train speed of 50 mile an hour
Yeah.
and the car speed of 40 mile an hour, resulting in the combined speed of 90 mile an hour.
I mean, it's not good at
Yeah,
math. So,
sure.
let's see. Let's try. Well, we don't got time, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's
Hey,
not
hey,
good
hey,
at
hey,
math.
hey, by the way,
It's
I
yeah,
watched a
yeah.
video by hey, Steven, I watched a video by a guy that was talking about his what's it called? Claude, not Claude, the Moltbot thing or whatever it's called, the bot
Yeah.
trading thing. Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
I gave my bot X thousands of dollars to make some money in crypto. Let's see if it does it. And I want to say it was a net loss
Hmm.
of close to $1,000.
$1,000.
Uh,
Yeah. It was like
Yeah,
988 bucks or something
yeah,
like that that he
I
yeah. He
got
had
lost.
three of them. Like one of them made like 2%. One lost like $900, and then the other one like broke even. I don't remember, but it was the whole time I was sitting there going, "Man, I think Steven's system's probably better than this."
yeah, I got
But
someone's got like 10 or 12 grand in their account, and they've already made like $800 or something in like a couple
good
months.
deal.
I mean, I think they got
Nice.
their settings turned up a little bit uh higher and more unsafe than I would personally, but yeah.
Well, I ran that simulation on, using your bot against historical data for the coins you're trading, and you would have made a profit.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It's good. I love my bot. Like there's a reason I've spent almost 10 years working on it,
Right.
Like I figured out as soon as I learned about DCA, I was like, oh well, that's it. That's how to trade. Is just average down your buy price. Just be smart about when you average down your buy price. But yeah, I guess we gotta go. So it's been a great talk, guys. We'll
Oh yeah.
get together here in a few days and watch this rocket launch.
Most definitely.
yeah, absolutely.
Heck yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone else. Thanks for being here, guys. See
Thank
y'all
you.
in a few days.
All right. See you.
Peace.